We are live from Washington, D.C. Back with us now, the ranking member of Senate Judiciary, Senator Chuck Grassley. Senator, it's a pleasure having you on, sir. It's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Senator, we'd like to talk more about this. FBI whistleblowers telling your office the FBI has, quote, voluminous proof of Hunter and James Biden, too, their criminal misconduct in their overseas business deals, cashing in on the Biden family name and the president's power as vice president of government. Can you tell us exactly what crimes are at stake here?
I can tell you that we know that those exist. I don't want to say what's in the content, but my investigative staff has actually read those documents. We know they exist, and the purpose of the letter is to let the FBI and the Justice Department know they exist, and we want to know what they're doing about it, because we're sick and tired of the double justice we have, unequal justice we have coming out of the Justice Department and the activities of the FBI, and it's clear that there should be investigations going, and we want to know that, one way or the other.
Senator, has the FBI gotten back to you saying anything about your demand to release this information on the Biden's pay-to-play deals that they set up overseas with their foreign adversaries in China, including Russia?
Yeah, they have not, and I think that it'd be embarrassing if they did, but it gets back to what I've said. People in Iowa are sick of a double standard of prosecution and justice, and that's why we're going to pursue this until we get the answers. And we're entitled to answers, and I think they would be embarrassed if they can't answer it when we know what they have.
So has anyone from the White House, has any top Democrat disputed what you found about the Hunter James Biden doing a deal with Chinese energy conglomerate CFC? Has anybody disputed it?
No, nobody in the Congress has disputed it, Republican or Democrat, and nobody in the FBI has disputed the questions we ask them or the documents we have or what we prove. The only action that I have seen the FBI take as a result of my investigations is with Timothy Thibault, the person that said an investigation could go ahead against Trump, but he stopped an investigation of Hunter Biden when they removed him from the FBI. But that's the only evidence I have that they take any action or even care what we say, because I think it's going to be terribly embarrassing to them, or else they're getting such political pressure. But this is corruption at the highest level, and we got to put a stop to it.
You know,
people in this country, go ahead.
No, go ahead. So let me ask you this. The FAA whistleblowers say the Bidens intentionally set it up so the Chinese energy company would not pay the Biden family any money while Joe was vice president. So the implication is the vice president is open to undue influence from China. Your final word on that?
Well, my final word is that I think there's evidence that there could be conflict of interest. And how does that affect our national security, particularly because that vice president is now president of the United States? It's not something that I have concrete evidence of, but it's absolutely legitimate to raise the question of conflict of interest.
Are you really worried about it?
And how that might affect our national security. Well, of course I'm worried about it. I'd be doing this investigation even if I wasn't worried about it. But I think I've learned enough that I am worried about it, yes.
Senator Grassley, a pleasure having you on, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. You'll be back again with us soon.